Mr. Harish, who is in charge for Bangalore operations from IEEE, to award this certificate and the prize money to Mr. Neeraj. The second paper is from IIT Guwahati team by Mr. Gaurav Saxena. I invite Gaurav to start his presentation.
Hello. Good morning, guys. So this will be a technical presentation. I hope I will not bore you much. So we are working with the research of gas sensors. So how many of you are aware of gas sensors? It's a device which is used for detecting harmful gases. Its applications are numerous. It is used in automobile industries, in food processing, and in automobiles, even in homes, ACs and all. So we are working on the research of that. So we have fabricated few devices which I would like to show you all. So you can see one, what I just take one. I have to do more testing on this. These are the devices which we are talking on in this paper. So this is how our device is and actually looks like without going into a chip. But I don't have much, so I could not be show you all. So you can also have a look. So this is the actual fabricated die on which results I am going to present. Ma'am? Yeah, no, we have fabricated this in IIT Bombay. So I'm sorry I couldn't bring much, but I'll show you afterward after the presentation. So this is a micro hot plate which I am going to talk about, which we have fabricated at INEP IIT Bombay. So in this, okay. So the outline will be like this. I'll briefly talk about what is a micro hot plate and what are the components of micro hot plate, what comprise a micro hot plate, then what is the design and realization cycle of actual fab hot plate, then what was the fabrication process followed at IIT Bombay, and its testing and characterization setup we made, and we'll look at the results and finally we can conclude. So a micro hot plate consists of a micro heater and a support platform. A micro heater is just a Joule heating device which works on Joule heating principle. It is just simple resistor made of platinum or other material. So when a current or voltage pass through it, so it generates a heat. So it is used in a gas sensing device to provide an operating temperature on which a particular gas can be detected. Next is the support platform on which this micro heater sits. So this support and types of heaters, there are various types of heaters reported in literature. The types of heaters, I have shown few here. It could be a meander heater, it could be a S-shaped heater, or a double spiral heater. The motivation behind the different types of or shapes of heater is we need a good thermal uniformity in the active area. So in order to achieve that, we design different shapes of micro heaters. So the first one I have shown here is the meander. So meander is the most common, it's the most common and simple structure which is used as a micro heater, but it suffers from a high thermal non-uniformity, which is not good for our gas sensor sensitivity. So that's why people comes up with the different shapes. But with the shapes, we have to look for the active area also, our sensor area also. So that's why S shape and those also came. So this one was fabricated at IISc Bangalore, Valmati madam. So in the type of support platform, we want to reduce the thermal losses from the bulk substrate. So for that, people are using glass pipes as a bulk. Next, they are using closed. This we have fabricated at Bombay. So this is on wafer level. So this is a closed type membrane in which we have a silicon wafer. We have H2, so that to reduce the thermal mass of the substrate. So next, in order to, we can go and minimize the thermal mass even further by using suspended kind of structures like this. It is a spider kind of structure in which there's a supporting beam or supporting the platform on which the heater will sit. The next is a bridge in which we just have two. So in this kind of structures, the only issue is we are able to reduce the thermal mass, but the fabrication complexity is too much. So that's why we have gone for a closed type structure. So in design realization cycle means once we have an idea, once we want to fabricate a gas sensor, we want to implement a new idea or new concept and realize it through fabrication. We first go through the design cycle in which we have to take care of the fabrication aspect, the performance requirement and the practical aspect. Performance wise, we need the lowest power, as obvious. We need lower size. We need a good mechanical stability and fast response time, right? Apart from that, these fabrication aspects are also important, in which we have to take care of the material we are planning. Is it CMOS compatible or not? Or what is the cost of the material? For example, I have used platinum as a micro heater material or a heater material. Platinum is even costlier than gold. So if you have such kind of material, you have to minimize the number of runs also. Then what is the deposition rate? So you have to plan, you have to take care of all these things while going for a design cycle. And then the practical aspect, which are most important, which comes from your previous experience, such as like you have to consider the yield also. Means if you have a membrane and there is thermal residual stress there, you have a membrane and you want to make it thin to reduce the thermal mass, but this will cause an issue with the yield. So taking this thing also into consideration is very important in the design phase. So by taking all these three parameters into consideration, we go for the simulation. We'll see if our desired requirements is met or not. We'll re-simulate and design, and then we can go for fabrication. After this, again the cycle will continue with the practical aspect. Have we met our goals? And then we can go for. So this is how the whole research thing will go. It's not for this work only, it will go on for like whoever is going to take up this research further. So taking the cost of the fabrication and the fabrication complexity, we have chosen a closed type membrane and the S-shaped heater. So this S-shaped heater is going to define the active area. Active area is the area where the sensor is going to sit. Hey guys, hello. Yeah, I am boring you. Please. Are you getting what is all about? What is this all about? Are you getting the idea? So I'll try to make it brief. So this membrane composition, lithography limits, they all take part or going to influence the performance of my micro hot plate. So we have chosen membrane material to be silicon dioxide and silicon nitride. Silicon we deliberately kept into our membrane just to provide the yield and improve the mechanical stability of the device. So next is I'll go with the fabrication flow. So how actually we fabricated in IIT Bombay, how we realize this dies which you are seeing here. You play the video. So this is the fabrication flow, the step-by-step procedure which we have followed for realizing these dies. Just go through this and I'll walk you through step by step. So first we have a silicon substrate on which all the fabrication process will be carried out. Go through step by step. Is the video? fabrication, we have a simple silicon substrate. I have some silicon substrate. I can show you how the 2-inch silicon substrate looks like. So it's a 2-inch wafer, 100 orientation. So the first step is to provide a silicon dioxide thermal insulation layer. So this is by thermal oxidation process. This will be a part of our membrane on which our microheater is going to sit. So in the next process step, we are going to provide a silicon nitride layer just to minimize the residual stress, because residual stress are going to play a huge role when the temperature is going to increase. So this will cause a bending in your membrane, and which may ultimately lead to breakdown of your die. So in order to take care of this thing, silicon nitride has a tensile stress, silicon dioxide has a composite stress, so they both are going to cancel the stress of both the layers. So a layer of silicon nitride is deposited after this. So now we are going for lithography process step, in which we will define, we will first coat a PPR layer. This is the HPPR layer, so this thickness is quite long, quite thick. It's around 1.5 micron thick. So we are going for back etching, where we are going to etch the silicon in order to reduce the thermal mass. So this will be done in TEMA, or tetramethyl ammonium hydroxide. This is a silicon etchant to open the window in the back. So now in the next process step, we are going to define our microheater, which is a ash-shaped microheater made of platinum. So this is our lithography step, developing it. Now we are going for titanium platinum sputtering. So ultimately the liftoff will be happening, and we will be having our micro hot plate ready for characterization. So this is the optical imaging of our die. So this was on a wafer level. So after realizing our micro hot plate, we need to dice each die. So a single die, as you can see, few of you can see, it's of 4.5 mm by 4.5 mm. So we, after dicing these dies, we have to mount for testing and characterization. So for this, we have designed this PCB. So this PCB we have designed, in which we have deliberately drilled a hole. Why? Can anyone answer why we have drilled this hole? See, already we are looking for minimizing the power, and power can be minimized by reducing the thermal mass. So this PCB will also conduct the heat through it, and it will increase the power consumption of the device. So in order to reduce that power consumption, we deliberately drilled a hole over which our die will sit. Then our die is sitting, you can see the die is there, the small die. So it is sitting on a ceramic wool. Again, the ceramic wool is a very good thermal insulator. So in order to reduce the thermal losses and to improve the power consumption, we have used this ceramic wool. So you can see the contact for this, these dies are made of silver epoxy paste. So this is the testing setup we made. This PCB which we have prepared are sitting here. It is connected, it is supplied by DC power supply. Using a K-type thermocouples, we are measuring the temperature of the micro hot plate. It will go to a DAC board, and then we have a Visual Basic program which will record the signals. So it's a very simple characterization setup we have built. Then few results. So before going to test this die on our testing setup, we did a direct testing on the die itself using microprobes. So with 175 milliampere of current, this heater has, you can see it's glowing. The temperature here is 700 kelvins. But when we did the testing on the test setup, because of the silver epoxy contacts, it has very low current carrying capabilities. So because of that, the highest temperature observed or we can get was 380 kelvins. It's because it has a high contact resistance and it has very low current carrying capability. So the contacts will burn out if you try to supply or feed more current into it. So in power comparison, we compared the experimentally observed power with the simulated power, and it was in very close agreement. So with this, I'd like to conclude and acknowledge my friends in IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, and this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Once again, I invite Mr. Harish to distribute the certificates and
Yeah, sure,
the
sure.
prize.
Sure, sure. I'm sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Preeti, for moderating this. I want the India SAC team members, Anand, Jerry, Nivas. Okay, they already left. Okay, thanks a lot. So over to Anup for the next 2 sessions. Probably you can break for tea now and come back in another 15 to 20 minutes. We will have an interesting session on your career by Damodaran, who is the consultant at Randstad India Limited, which is one of the top-notch HR firms across the globe. And then we have a presentation on the importance of IEEE standards by Shri Harish Mysore, who has got a vast experience in IEEE and who has also got a vast experience in the industry. Thanks a lot. Be fast. Come back fast for these 2 wonderful talks. Over to Anup.